Dokoupil in New York. We are coming on the air as Vice President Kamala Harris is delivering remarks at the White House. This is an event that we are taking because these are her first public remarks following President Biden's announcement that he will not seek re-election in this campaign, and he has endorsed Harris for the Democratic presidential ticket. Now let's listen to what Harris said just a few moments ago from the South Lawn.
Members of Congress, members of our administration, and our extraordinary athletes. Our president, Joe Biden, wanted to be here today. He is feeling much better and recovering fast, and he looks forward to getting back on the road. And I wanted to say a few words about our president. Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched in modern history. In one term, he has already, yes, you may clap. In one term, he has already surpassed the legacy of most presidents who have served 2 terms in office. And I first came to know President Biden through his son, Beau. We worked together as attorneys general in our states, and back then, Beau would often tell me stories about his dad. He would talk about the kind of father and the kind of man that Joe Biden is. The qualities that Beau revered in his father are the same qualities that I have seen every day in our president. His honesty, his integrity, his commitment to his faith and his family, his big heart, and his love, deep love of our country. And I am firsthand witness that every day our President Joe Biden fights for the American people, and we are deeply, deeply grateful for his service to our nation. And so with that, on behalf of our
CBS News Chief White House Correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, we should let our viewers know, you could see over the Vice President's shoulder there a Colorado ski team T-shirt. This is an NCAA student-athlete event, an event for champions. We would not normally take this event, but these are not normal times. Her first remarks since being endorsed by Joe Biden as the next president, if the country will have her. What did you make of the Vice President's initial remarks?
It's a real passing of the torch moment here on the White House South Lawn, Tony, that's for sure. This is an event that the president himself was supposed to be headlining. It is being led instead by the vice president, not because she is now the presumptive nominee, but because the president has COVID and is in isolation in Delaware as he recovered. So she agreed a few days ago to take over here. And obviously the elephant in the room is that yesterday the president announced that he would step aside, that he would not seek his party's nomination. He endorsed her. And so it was impossible for her to allow this moment pass, which, as you point out, doesn't have much to do with politics. It's about NCAA athletes, male and female, who were victorious over the past year. But she, without campaigning, made some very generous remarks about the president. Now, as far as campaigning goes, we did just learn that she is headed to Wilmington, Delaware, to campaign headquarters this afternoon. No longer Biden-Harris campaign headquarters, but Harris campaign headquarters. She's going to meet with all of her campaign staffers there and urge them to hit the ground running now with just 105 days to go. We also just learned, because the developments are coming fast and furious, that Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has agreed to be one of her campaign co-chairs, Tony.
Nancy Cordes for us on the South Lawn of the White House. Nancy, thank you very much. Let's bring in senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe, who is in Delaware, not far from the president's beach house. Ed, you know, we just saw that the young people on the South Lawn, maybe the phones lifted a little higher, maybe the cheers a little louder. Democrats definitely wanted to excite young voters with this switch on the ticket, or attempted switch on the ticket. What do we know about this move now of the vice president heading to Delaware, where you are?
Yeah, that was a fortuitous backdrop for her at a time when the party's eager to win back college-age voters. There she was with some college students herself. At this hour, Tony, she's got roughly a third of the 1,900 or so delegates that are going to be required to secure the Democratic nomination. And that's because a handful of states, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, New Hampshire, and we anticipate Florida by the end of this morning, are all saying that they plan to vote for her when the convention is held, whenever a roll call vote is held among the states. So she's on her way to getting what she needs. And in addition to the Michigan Governor, Gretchen Whitmer, staying with the campaign as a co-chair, we heard, for example, from the Illinois Governor, J.B. Pritzker, this morning, who had been a holdout, who was seen as someone who might be interested in running were there to be a more competitive race, and someone who's very close to some of the party's biggest donors. But he, too, now says he's with her at this point. So that trip to Wilmington is designed to buck up the troops, probably have a few high-level meetings with senior staffers about what exactly to anticipate in the coming days, and start the process of thinking about a running mate. As for the president, he's expected to get his daily security briefing here at his Rehoboth Beach home. We have not seen him since Wednesday when he arrived here with his COVID-19 diagnosis. The doctors have said he is improving. There is a possibility that he might at some point try to venture out if he's feeling healthier. It is a windier and overcast day here on the beach, but for now, we wait to hear from the president, who has said he plans to address the nation later this week. Tony?
Yeah, we do. And Ed, as you note, those governors coming forward endorsing Kamala Harris, that reduces the likelihood of some sort of a mini primary, as some people had been hoping for, calling for. But it does not knock them out of the potential running as a VP candidate. We'll find out if they're interested as well in the days ahead. Ed, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Our coverage will continue on CBS News 24/7, your local news, and tonight on the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell. This has been a CBS News Special Report. I'm Tony Dokoupil in New York.